Okay, everybody. Since I had a lot of feedback on the reverse mortgage, reverse vision, how to do a proposal, etc., what I did was I'm going to do a quick proposal, so it'll show you how to generate an application. I'm sorry, proposal, so you can give it to the client, and if they want to go through with it, order a um, counseling session. And I'm going to show you that there's going to be that little code that's going to pop up on a proposal that they're going to give to the counselor. I'll start real quick. So this is exactly how it looks when you log in. It's gonna have our information right here. We start off as prospect, and then we have to move it over to origination after, and I'll show you how to do that. So prospect. So first name, it's gonna put my name, Devlin Duarte. Date of birth, very important to have date of birth. Just put 01/01/1946. Remember, only one bar has to be over the age of 62 years old. Social security number, I don't need that yet. I just put 55555. Address, I'm going to put a address, fake address, 123 Any Street. And I'm going to put 90241. That's going to go away. Make that go away. The little. Now, we can't go any further. Well, we can go further, but it's not going to generate a proposal unless these little stop lights, I call them, go away. So we just have to make sure they go away. Value, this is where you go on Zillow or whatever you use to get value, put it on there, whatever the value is, because that's one of the most important things too, is the value. um, City. Okay, when wait now, if there's any liens on the property, I'm gonna put zero liens on the property. And then I'm gonna add a co-bar right here. This is where you add a co-bar, like a spouse co-bar. It's gonna assume that the same last name, so it just popped in right there. I'm just gonna put my spouse in there, put her date of birth. Okay, social, just the 55555. Everything looks good, no lien. Then I'm gonna go to property. Do it again right here. 123 Any Street. Year built, I just put 1950, but if you want to take the time to look up on title what it is, go right ahead. Very important right here, put owner occupied. Yes, because you have to be an owner occupied. These are all no's, no wells. Because you have to have an owner occupied to do a reverse mortgage. Go to loan. This is going to show us right away if there's, if there's something that we can or can't do. Now, obviously, this client didn't have any balance on their property. Um, it's going to default to the first loan product that we have right here, which I do use. This is the adjustable ones, the HECM fixed 5 month or 10 month adjustable one. I'm going to keep it as is because it's the adjustable, but as you can see, it's at 2.375 margin. On reverse mortgage adjustables, we get paid not only on origination that we charge, and it's up to $6,000, and I'll show you that in a minute, but we also get paid on the margin right here. So the higher the margin goes, if you notice right here, for instance, at 2.375 margin, the client's getting $182,000 cash at closing and a line of credit of 138. And the line of credit is not available till 1 year anniversary of the close of the loan. The reason I think they started doing that around 5 or 6 years ago because they wanted to make sure that the elderly, apparently they were spending their money as they, I guess, got it, so they wanted to make sure that they, don't have access to this line of credit for a year. I guess they're thinking that by then, they won't spend it all. So if I raise it up to 3, you'll notice that the cash at closing went down. So the higher the margin, the more money we make, more money we charge, the less money the client gets. So I kind of keep it at 2.75. Now we can't, it goes even lower. It goes to 1.5, but what I found out, we can't even do anything under 2.125 because it'd be like a cost to the client. So it didn't really make any sense. So I'm going to keep it at 2.75. I'm going to go to fees. Let's see what fees look like. All right. All right, see right here, origination. It's defaulted in the system at $6,000. We can make it zero, $100, or whatever, up to $6,000. So I just keep it at $6,000. You're going to notice that the broker compensation is going to be way higher. It actually overestimates because they say they overestimate like 3, 4 times what it is, so they don't have to redisclose. So the last thing before I get the proposal out, I'm going to go to comparison because there needs to be 3 loan comparisons. So right here, is it 5 month, 10 month? I'm going to change it to the same rate. Margin, I'm sorry, margin. This right here is the fixed one. So we have fixed one right here, 6.930 fixed. I'm going to get rid of these ones and I'm going to add a product. There's the fixed, and I'm going to change that one to the 6.810. So now I have my 1, 2, 3 products. And you'll notice right here on the fixed products, um, they're only able to get 164,000 on this one, 165 on the little bit lower rate one, but they don't have access to a line of credit. So that's all their clients are ever going to get. On the adjustable one, the client's going to get $173,000 up front, and they're going to have a line of credit of 133. So that's why I only sell the adjustable HECMs, because it's my mind, the best for the clients, because they're going to get more money as opposed to the fixed one. Okay, so I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to go to from prospect to origination. Continue. So that's going to open up a lot more fields on the left. We don't need those at this time, but what I found is it needs to be in the origination like setting. So when we go to documents, we go to proposal. Oh, verify fees. See a little stop sign right here. Stop me. I'm gonna have to verify fees. Just hit Jiffy Validator. I'm gonna hit Don't Change. So a little stop sign went away. So I'm gonna go back to Documents, Proposal, and I'm gonna generate the proposals. Create new document set. Order new. So while we're waiting for it to generate, which should take about a minute or so, I just want you to notice all these other fields that popped up on the left. For instance, income. This is where we pop in the income of the client. When the time comes, we don't need to do it now, but I'll just show you since we're waiting. Add default income, and for instance, there's more types of income, but most likely, it's going to be Social Security, a pension, and this is where you would plop in, let's say, how much they're getting, $2,000 a month. Social Security and a pension, another $1,000 a month. These are all the types of employments right here. So pick which one it is, and you can even change who it's from or who has it right here. Whose income it is, whatnot. Expenses. This is where we put in. Property. Oh, actually, let's look at the proposal. It popped right back up. So now it's 95 pages. It's going to have QR codes right here. Awesome. When you set up your reverse vision initially, you're going to put in your information. I already did mine, obviously. Prepared for. Scroll down. There's a lot of read right here. This is the graph that we looked at. So I pretty much just show the clients the graph. I mean, I show them everything, but I go over the graph because it's easier to see, numbers and whatnot with the graph. So it shows them they're getting 173 at closing and 133 after they finance all their closing costs. The insurance fee is like a FHA, like an FHA loan. It's a lot higher though than FHA loan. So because obviously there's a lot of insurance in these type of loans, because I want to make sure nothing goes wrong. This right here just spells it out in writing what it is. Now I always tell clients too, this is based on a value of $800,000. So the numbers can change. If it comes in lower, the numbers will change. If it comes in higher, numbers will change too. So it's better to be higher than lower, right? Scrolling down, equity, these bunch of graphs. Shows them the margin that they have. So, we're being upfront. This is starting to get into the counseling stuff, so they can start reading up like what is a reverse mortgage, what should they look for. Page 17 is when they get to counseling. So this is the counseling code I was talking about. EBF256. So they would just give this to the counselor, and the counselor will be able to pull up exactly what we sent to the client. And these are all the phone numbers that they can call, or family member can call for them, whatnot. Local counseling, it's gonna, based on the address that we pop in here, it's gonna, pop in some local companies. I've gone through the list sometimes. Some of them, you never know what the availability is. They can do it over the phone with the client, so they don't have to go in there. It's a lot faster if they do it over the phone than go down there, and it's 175, 185, $185. This shows the comparison to the client. It's on page 20. Amortization schedule, how much you're looking at. The balance is going to go up, so it's going to be eating away the equity, correct? But the value is going to be going up too as well. So they got to take that into consideration. And then this is an estimate. Unfortunately, it's going to show that compensation that's going to be a lot higher than what we're going to get. But again, they have to over disclose, so we don't have to redisclose. This is some little book so that clients can read. The rest of it is pretty much read so they can kind of start understanding what a reverse mortgage is. Remember, we have our website, rcreversemortgage.com, the clients can go to. All right. So that's it in a nutshell. I just generated a proposal for the client. I actually, I usually save it to my desktop, and you can email it to the client, um, or you can print it out for them, depends on what they want. They don't need to sign anything from the proposal, but they need to have it, go over it. So when the counselor, calls them up, they want to make sure that they actually looked at it and kind of know what they're something of what's going on, obviously, because they don't want to make sure everything's on the up and up. Again, page 17 is where the counseling code goes. So if you have any other questions, I'm going to do another video as well, going to be on what to do after the fact of they do the, get the counseling. We get the certificate. Remember, there's a 7-day cooling off period. So on day 8 is when we can start generating disclosures. We can do that from here. We do it ourselves um, after punching in all the information. And if we can do that on the 8th day, because these things are a date stamp, so we can't do it now for the future and put another date. It doesn't work that way. The date of which we generate them is going to show up on the disclosure, and we can't change that. So, all right, guys, go get them.